because you have to think of like that world was just data meant to keep Roxas there, and they're also using it to put Sora back together. So naturally, if Roxas joins with Sora's data in the data, then they are able to complete Sora for real. That also explains why there's a second joining later. So, full sense. Big. The memory egg. Memory query. Hell you. SB fans out there. Get the super best friends. Shouts out to those guys. They're all great. They're all amazing. Yep. There you go. The gang's back. Now it's time for another wacky adventure. The game starts to pick up a little bit. Jiminy Cricket. So similar to Pinocchio's conscience. He's like Sora's conscience. It's kind of funny though. In Dream Drop Distance, he takes that role more seriously, and there's a different dynamic than how it is now. But for these mainline titles, which I guess Dream Drop Distance doesn't count, but it is like, if I would say like what are the most important ones, you play Birth by Sleep, and then 1 and 2, then Dream Drop Distance. That's like the main storyline. But I guess between 1 and 2, you have to play Chain of Memories. So other than that, the other ones don't really matter unless you kind of like to get some extra background information, stuff like that. Yeah, okay, switch them around. So, okay. Okay. Just take their items. Okay. Three functions. What do they got? We could give Donald a ring. Cool. So, if you try to head back there and be like, this place is too spooky, why would I just want to go back in there? Just pick up, I think this is like a dark shard or something. Sure. I got stuff to do, bro. I think this might be like a... Close enough. Okay. So right now he looks just like the Sora we know, except taller. So they somehow make it from the mansion. They somehow decide to... Oh, I guess they decide to go here because... you can warp to the gummy ship from here. I think they have a tracking, like it's not stated, but they kind of know where the save points are because in the first game that was introduced as locations where it's easier to board the gummy ship. So I'm just assuming that like the save points actually are just like a location that's like mapped to like something they have that kind of is near the gummy ship. Three characters we know. This is characters we don't know.
Nothing. Just wondering who's back in. Yeah, this is Alice. What? You're new around here, right? I'm Pence. Hey, nice to meet you. We got stuff to do soon. Explain.
He has an X on his chest, which is never good.
Did you finish up with some homework yet? Independence Day worst, huh? Homework?
Damn, Sword has done homework in fucking years.
What are your names? Oh, sorry. Over Sora. Ball. And Goofy. Hey there.
Yoroshiku.
Sora, Donald, Goofy. You just met someone who's looking good. Sure seemed in a hurry. He had a black coat on, so I couldn't see his face. But he had these big round ears.
Who do we know that's like that?
Where'd you see him? At the station. The station, thanks.
Okay, great.
You better get access, Simon.
Yep. You better get so you never see you again. Okay, cool. So let's go meet up with Mickey, which finally happened at the end of the game, and then you have to wait a whole game for it to like happen again. Have to lock down. That's shitty. So this is the real Twilight Town, which is exactly like the other one, because the other one was a replica. But more areas will become available the more you play. Okay, so I think we can choose to die in this next encounter, but we don't have to. Since we're not doing EXP 0, we should get some experience. Let's see how good Donald is at killing these guys. See the symbol, which is important. He doesn't recognize it because it's not the Heartless symbol. These are something he's never seen before. Technically. Oh well, actually he would not have. Yeah, he would not have remembered, because one of the caveats of having his memory fully reformed is he would lose the memories from Castle Oblivion. Okay, it seems like we're doing really good here. Oh, the lobbies before the timer. There's supposed to be a timer for like. We might almost be over. Pretty good EXP too. I mean, I remember the beginning of the first game. You get like 10 EXP for killing anything. I could just die now, I guess. It's a good way. I just gained like 3 levels. It's kind of a good way to get your character up to speed, because I mean it's not really even that much EXP to grow. Like I barely killed any enemies, so it's kind of like a bonus to going through the tutorial. Just kind of up your stats if you choose to fight, or if you can fight, I guess. So it seems like we're overwhelmed because they're infinite spawning. I don't know, has anyone ever tried to mod this part here where you are able to defeat them enough, and do they just stop spawning and then you wait for the timer, or how does that work?
You gotta hold the train and leave out. The train will
Leave town.
Here.
A money pouch. I wonder where they got that from. Well, you kind of saw him.
Was that really him? It could have been. Yeah, I know it was. Where was that? The king was locked in the realm of darkness, right?
So that means they found a way out.
We just saw it. And if the king is here, that means Riku's here.
True.
Well,
They were together in Chain of Memories, which is You get to play as Riku in that game also. So, and Mickey is your only ally. So they kind of form a friendship. This is kind of like they're poking fun at the first game where everyone was like, Donald and Goofy are useless. So there's some good stuff you can do. Goofy's useful in the beginning of the game, then Donald becomes amazing end game. But other than that, themselves they aren't too good. Crazy money pouch, blue crystal, and some reform. You can read those later. Hey yo, we want to say goodbye. Oh shit, that money pouch is the same as the one I have. That's because it's the one that the hooded guy stole from Roxas, and he gave it to Mickey, and then Mickey gave it to you. It's one of a kind because she made it herself. Pocket sizes and what's in them doesn't even match up. Okay, so now we're gonna get like a slightly touching moment here as we talk to Donald, but let's get these shitty items first. So they did a pretty good job. I believe in this room here. Let's see. Okay, yeah. So that's like just a picture of Twilight Town. They do a lot of like work in like layering things. You can't go down here. Kind of shows you like, oh, you know, this place is pretty big. That's the train we're interested in. There's stuff in the background. You never really go over there, so. Train, yeah, it's pretty interesting. It's pretty detailed for something that you probably won't even look at, which is a lot of the case for a lot of the areas here in this game. Okay, Donald says get on, so get on.
Okay, let's go. Bye. Hey, son. You sure we haven't met before? Positive. Why do you ask? I don't know.
Oh no, Sora's crying. Oh, it must be the Roxas inside of it. Remember, they were our best friends. Well, the data versions. He's never even actually met these guys. Which is even more sad. Tragic. There's no one actually watching them, so why do they have to buy tickets? If these guys can come in here without buying a ticket? Very suspect. There are a lot of shots in Kingdom Hearts where in cutscenes they highlight where chests are, either before or after you leave the area. Like, once you get there or before you leave. Oh no, oh no. Sort of sad. Okay. This is where the key items come into play. You never use them, but they're just relevant, so they show you, oh, you can read the description. This is off the trophy that you win for winning the struggle tournament.